like to welcome you to the 94th Annual Houma Terrebonne Chamber of Commerce Banquet. Thank you all very much for joining us tonight. My name is Steve Crispino. I'm the Executive Vice President of South Louisiana Bank, and I'll be your Master of Ceremonies for the evening. I'm also a past chair from the year of 2007. I was fortunate enough to MC this event a few times, and then they made me take a break. And Nicole could not be more nervous about me being up here. She gave me 2 rules. Stay on time, because I think everybody wants to be out of here by 9, correct? Yeah, I knew you'd applaud that. And don't say anything stupid. Show of hands, how many people out there know who I am? All right, if you've never heard me say something stupid, put your hand down. Yeah, there's still a lot of hands up, so I'm not sure how that part's going to work out. You're just going to have to stay nervous. We'd like to get things started, though, by asking Reverend Monsignor Cletus Egby with St. Lucie Catholic Church to come up for the invocation, and our board chair-elect, Tanya Harris, with Leadertique Leadership Boutique to lead us in the pledge.
Shall we begin our gathering in God's name and ask Him to be present among us? In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. God, our Heavenly Father, indeed, without you in vain does the builder build, and without you in vain does the watchman keep vigil. You have brought us here from our places of work and from our homes. We thank you for taking us through this day and for all that we were able to do. As we gather here, we ask you to be present among us and to lead this gathering and its activities. We pray for every one of us, and we ask that this gathering may be fruitful, may be profitable. For indeed, throughout history, you have appointed leaders for us. We pray that you give your wisdom, your guidance to the leaders of this Chamber of Commerce. And we also pray that you bless them with good health, that they may be able to steer the affairs of the Chamber of Commerce, so that in your name, with you, and by your direction, we may find ourselves ordered in the way that you want us to go. This is our prayer through Christ our Lord. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all very much. Now I'd like to acknowledge your favorite part, where we have our special guest. So I'm going to ask you to please hold your applause until I'm finished with the list. So tonight, if you'd please stand, I have Senator Robert Allen III, Senator Mike Fazee, Representative Beryl Amadi, Honorable Judge Jason DeGate with the 32nd Judicial District, Terrebonne Parish President Jason Bageron, Terrebonne Parish Assessor Lonnie Grabert. Following Terrebonne Parish Council members are here tonight: John Amadi, Danny Babin, Kevin Champagne, Kimberly Chauvin, Carl Harding, Clyde Hamner, Brian Pledger, Clayton Voisin Jr., and Steve Trosclair. We have Terrebonne Parish Sheriff Tim Saunier, Terrebonne Levy and Conservation District Board President Tony Alford, Terrebonne Levy and Conservation District Reggie Dupre, Terrebonne Port Commission David Rabelais, The following Terrebonne Parish School Board members are here: Debbie Benoit, Bud Kluche, Roger Dale Dehart, Michael Lagarde, and Dr. Maybelle Trahan. We also have Terrebonne Parish School District Superintendent Bubba Ogeron, Thibodaux City Council Monique Crochet, and Fletcher Technical Community College Chancellor Dr. Christine Strickland. Let's give them all a round of applause. I know that's one of our favorite things when we introduce all the politicians, and they brought us through some pretty rough times in the last year. We endured a drought, then we've had a lot of record rainfall, and then we went through a freeze, a cold snap, which we really don't get to do a lot of here. But the freeze actually wasn't so bad. It was actually nice to see all those guys with their hands in their own pockets for a change. Oh, and I told a lot of them that joke was coming, so I mean, it's okay. They told me they'd laugh. This banquet would not be possible without the support of our sponsors, and here's one of our sponsor videos.
As Terrebonne General celebrates 7 decades of dedicated service to our community, we look back at our humble beginning, progress through the years, and our promising future. We are grateful to our phenomenal board, extraordinary physicians, and dedicated leaders, our employees and volunteers, business partners, and our community whose support has been instrumental in shaping our amazing organization into the innovative healthcare leader that we are today. The health of our community depends largely on the access to quality health care. To achieve that, it takes the support of business and community partners working together to have the vision and foresight to pave the way for health care. Having evolved through the years as a hospital, a medical center, and now a health system, Terrebonne General is a pillar in our community that provides a huge economic impact with our high-tech, high-touch style of healing that offers expansive services from hospital care to preventive care, in addition to basic healthcare needs on and off-site. We know the importance of partnerships, being a good corporate citizen, and keeping our region healthy. This year, as we enter our 70th year of service, we are more fearless and focused on continuing our legacy of healthcare for the people of our region. 2024 is Terrebonne General's year to shine brighter than ever before.
Since 1954, Terrebonne General has been a beacon of health and hope in our community. As we mark 7 decades of dedication to your well-being, we reflect on the incredible journey that has brought us to this moment. Terrebonne General Health System remains committed to advancing healthcare, improving lives, and expanding our services to meet your evolving needs. Terrebonne General Health System is now on the move with our new mobile care clinic rolling into a neighborhood near you. The mobile care clinic offers free health screenings to more people in more places to keep you healthy. At Terrebonne General Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center, our strength is providing the highest quality cancer care in the region. Our newly expanded cancer center offers an infusion suite, a fitness and wellness area, and an innovative group activity space for meditation and other alternative therapies. With our expansion, we provide an even higher level of nationally accredited, comprehensive cancer care where it matters most, close to home. Conveniently located in the Terrebonne General Medical Atrium, Terrebonne General's full-service pharmacy provides a variety of services, including staffing and managing the Meds-to-Beds prescription delivery service for our patients, auto refills and refill reminders, free mail-to-home service, health and wellness gift boutique, and more. Our internationally recognized Women's Health Center, voted Bayou's Best for the 2nd year in a row, demonstrates genuine compassion in welcoming women of all ages and offer the only Level 3 NICU in the area. In celebrating our past, we look forward to a future filled with promise and progress. Thank you for allowing us to serve you for 70 remarkable years. is our legacy. Discover more at tghealthsystem.com.
Normally at this banquet, we would recognize the American Legion Terrebonne's Teenager of the Year, but he could not be here tonight. This recipient, Brian Blanchard, with H.L. Bourgeois, will be recognized at the Chamber's February 27th General Membership Luncheon, if you can make that. And I think that is going to be, Nicole, at Terrebonne General? Yes. Okay. So hopefully we'll see you on the 27th for that nice award for Brian Blanchard. At this point, we would like to take some time to recognize the Eugene False Outstanding Veteran Award.
Mr. Leeward Sue Henry is a 93-year-old Korean War Army veteran. Born in Leeward, he has had the nickname Sue for so long, he doesn't even know where it originated. He is a graduate of Terrebonne High School. He was married to his wife Shirley for 40 years, and they together had 4 children: Bob, Sally, Mary, and Patrick. His oldest son was named after his best friend that died in combat next to him. Sue is a quiet leader who has served his country, state, and parish his entire life. He was born in Berg and has lived in Chauvin since he married. He enjoys hunting and fishing and supporting veterans. He decided to join the Army in 1948 at the age of 17 because it was an honor to serve and an opportunity to ensure that he made a difference. Mr. Sue completed basic training at Fort Jackson in Columbia, South Carolina, and then immediately went to Schwabach, Germany, through Staten Island, New York, with the 7th Field 1st Infantry for nearly 2 years before returning to the United States. Upon his return to the States, he went to combat training for 6 weeks at Fort Hood in Texas. Following combat training, he was immediately sent to Hamhung, Korea, to defend the flag for 22 months. During the Korean War, he was a part of the 4th Signal Battalion Corps B Company, and their company motto was, "We get the message through." His battalion arrived in Korea in 1950 and was responsible for relaying vital communications and included being linemen to receive messages to and from the battlefield. They made an amphibious attack which would go down in history. He recalls how incredibly cold it would get. They were the chosen frozen in temperatures of minus 30 degrees and ate corned beef hash for Christmas while sleeping in foxholes. Upon his return in 1953, he was a founding member of the VFW Post 9608 to help soldiers and their family members. He was commander for 8 years and a member for more than 50 years. The VFW hosted an annual fair and multiple bingo games to raise money and awareness for veteran support. One of his claims to fame includes cooking countless pots of jambalaya and white beans for both the VFW and Lanyap on the Bayou Fairs. They would cook 8 to 10 pots of jambalaya a day, and each made more than 300 servings. He was also an active member of the American Legion since 1952. Upon his discharge from the Army, he married and started his family. He was a crane operator for Freeport Sulphur and then a plumber for Terrebonne Parish School Board until his retirement. Today, he continues his service to our community through his involvement with the Terrebonne Parish Levy Board as the only original member still sitting on that board. He has been vice president of the board for the last 20 years. He was just reappointed for another 4-year term this year.
Back in 1986, Senator Leonard Jobber appointed me to the levy board. And I received my package from the governor's office that I was on the levy board, and he had never told me he had put me on the levy board. So That's where I started. When you see that your house flood, you get, we got to do something to protect ourselves. So that's why we started hustling. I believe if you don't protect yourself, nobody will.
The National Weather Service, when we were first coming on the air, and the parish president was with me, we were reporting that the tidal surge would be 4 to 6 feet.
Yes.
And when this thing started slowing down to 3 and 4 miles per hour, that 4 and 6 feet eventually became 9 feet. So they have to learn from that too, don't they?
Yes, and you got to protect the east side of all them bars. You got to, I guess we're gonna have to go 18 feet. Make sure that we protect it.
Yeah.
And when we finish a levee, they hold.
Yep, that's right.
It proved it right there, because we had a 9-foot tidal wave.
Sue is proud of his service and a true leader, and we thank him for his service. He continues to live by his core principles of work for what you get, be truthful, and don't give up. On behalf of my mom and my entire family, it is a privilege this year to present the Eugene J. Falls Veterans Award to Mr. Sue Henry, quite a deserving man who has spent much of his life taking care of us. God bless you, Mr. Sue. We love you. Amen. We are so glad you are in our community. All right, Mr. Sue, being a little shy, as you can tell by the interviews, he doesn't like to speak much, especially if it's about himself. So Tony, they gave me 10 minutes. We used up 8. Tony Alford, the president of the Levee District. Tell us about Mr. Sue Henry. What a man.
Well, I definitely don't have enough time to talk about Mr. Sue and everything that he's done for this parish. And he's always behind the scenes, and he never wants any recognition, and he's done that for 40 years, forever. And, you know, he keeps us motivated because we see what he's willing to go through, and at his age, 93, all the things that he's done for this parish, I don't think anything can ever tell him how much we really appreciate what he's done for our parish. And I'm just proud to be able to be called a friend of his, and he's taught me a lot. And Sue, this parish really appreciates everything you do, and we love you. Thank you.
And real quick, y'all saw those flooding pictures that we had way back on HTV? You don't see that anymore. A lot of work from the parish president, Mr. Dove, on back. A lot of parish presidents put time in, but Levee District did a great job. If you're on the Levee District or associated with it, please stand up as we leave this segment. Please stand up. Give Mr. Sue a big round of applause. I want y'all to see how many people are involved with Mr. Sue. All right. Steve, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Mr. Sue, we love you. Thank you. All right, joining me, Mr. Sue. He is the winner of the Eugene J. Falls Veterans Award. And on behalf of my mom, Lorraine Falls, of course, my dad, congratulations. So well deserved. You have done so much for this community. But first of all, thank you for your service to our country. And that's a big old plaque. Where are you going to hang that?
Oh, I got room with all the others.
Yeah, quite a few, huh?
I got a room full.
Wow. So what does this mean to you that you were recognized and, of course, one of the chosen, frozen, but What does it mean to you? We had a packed Civic Center.
I never thought that I'd get this award. You know, I just went and do my duty. When we were coming up, you served, that was your due to your country. You didn't have all that right and stuff. You loved this country, you protected this country. So, and thank God, thank everybody for this award.
And you had your family around you. That meant a lot too, huh?
Yep, that was a lot for my kids and my friends, you know. But I never thought that this would happen.
Yeah.
So I thank you. I thank everybody.
Yeah.
That
You've done so much to help bring levees. We showed the old pictures where the water was pouring into this parish. In the last couple of storms, we haven't had a lot of water. You were one of those reasons.
Yes. Well, you got to protect yourself, you know. If you don't do it, nobody's going to do it.
Yeah. You're one of a kind, and we certainly appreciate you in this parish.
Thank you.
You got a grandson next to you who's a fire chief, so you left a pretty good legacy.
I'm proud of him.
Yeah, you're doing good.
He done good. And you can't find a better man.
Yeah.
I told him you don't take after your grandpas and your daddy. No, he don't drink. He don't smoke. And I like a little drink once in a while.
Is that the secret to living in 93?
Yes, drink veal.
All right, there you have it. Mr. Sue Henry, congratulations. He is the Veteran of the Year this year. We appreciate his service. We'll be back with more.
All right, congratulations, Sergeant Henry, and thank you for all of your service. The Levee Board, including your past military service, very, very outstanding. So now we'd like to recognize our next platinum sponsor with a short video.
Hello everybody, I'm Greg Stock, CEO of Thibodaux Regional Health System. It's a pleasure for us to support the Terrebonne Parish Chamber and provide a brief update on what's happening at Thibodaux Regional. First of all, we continue to grow. That growth is spurred on by the recruitment of a lot of physician specialists. And in the area of ortho, hearts, cancer, wellness, and a variety of primary care and other doctors, we've seen growth again this year, as we have year over year. Then that has allowed us to build services around those specialists, like in neurology, where we're now the only stroke center that's certified by the state in a 7-parish area. Stroke care, as you know, is a real important matter, and the care that's given close to home, close to where a stroke may occur, is better care. So our focus has been, how do we sustain high levels of patient experience, great patient experience? Number 2 is, how do we achieve high levels of clinical care, clinical outcomes that are some of the very, very best? And we have done that and continue to do that through a lot of different methods that have systematically improved the quality of care at Thibodaux Regional. In the end, the patients benefit from it, and that's our purpose. Our purpose is to serve the patients of this area with the highest quality, most cost-effective care that we can. Thank you, and have a great new year.
All right, thank you to our platinum sponsors. This banquet would not be possible without you. We'll move on to our past chair now, and I know he's pretty happy about that. I'll let him talk about it. But to review this past year and recognize our outgoing board members, we have 2023 Board Chairman Nicholas Hebert with Allstate, the Hebert Agency.
Good evening, everyone. This is the 105th anniversary year of our Houma Terrebonne Chamber, and it's a significant milestone for any organization. So Nicole and the team of the Chamber have put together a short video kind of recapping 105 years. So, as past chair, emphasis on past, it's my honor to thank the members of the chamber for everything we accomplished in 2023. It's very difficult in this day and age. We see it in all our businesses, we see it in a lot of community organizations, to get so many people involved. And that's not possible here at the chamber without you, our members. So if you could, give yourselves a round of applause for all the hard work we did in 2023. Some of the highlights of 2023 that I find personally satisfying that we were able to do, advocacy issues. Anybody who was here at the banquet last year, my speech was a lot about those advocacy issues and really bringing the chamber to the plate to go to bat for Houma Terrebonne, like it always has, but really step those efforts up. And I'm pleased to say we accomplished a lot of things. We advocated successfully on behalf of the seafood industry, oil and gas. A big thing, obviously, for me, insurance industry. And we were featured in some Wall Street Journal articles, some articles all over the country, really, about the different insurance issues that are unique to Terrebonne, but a lot of the nation face. And our voice was heard, and there are some things moving in that regard. Haven't quite brought anything to fruition yet, but there are a lot of positive things going on right now at a state and federal level. And a lot of that is to advocacy issues that the chamber took up. Another thing we did and accomplished in 2023 was we welcomed 61 new members to our chamber. New membership is the lifeblood of any chamber, and particularly with a chamber of our size. We're a 5-star accredited chamber, and there's not that many of us like that in the United States. So 61 new members in our chamber, given the times we've had in our area, tremendous accomplishment. Nicole and the staff, thank you for your efforts, but all for the other chamber members who helped recruit those new members to us. We certainly appreciate those. Another thing we did as a chamber is had great events, right? A lot of us joined the chamber. When we did surveys, many of you joined the chamber for those events, right? Because of the things they give back to the community, the networking opportunities for you and your business, and the personal development that you experience by participating. I'm pleased to say we hosted the first ever Chamber of Commerce Parrot Head Party in downtown Houma, benefiting our lovely folks over at the theater, raised a lot of money for them, and really got them kick-started on their season. If anybody went to that, please raise your hand if you want to do it again. See, Nicole, it wasn't that hot. So, and speaking of Nicole and the staff, all those events, all the ribbon cuttings, guys, we cut ribbons on more than 50 new businesses in Terrebonne Parish, and that was as of December. We've got some new ones coming in, and we were stacked with them at the beginning of this year. What does that say? That says as a community, we're opening businesses, we're recovering. Entrepreneurial spirit is alive and well in Terrebonne Parish, and this chamber is happy and pleased to be a part of that. So Nicole and the staff, thank you, Nicole, Lauren, Matthew, for all your efforts in 2023. As past chair, I sincerely appreciate those. A round of applause if we can for them. None of our chamber events are possible without sponsorships. To our sponsors for this evening, on behalf of myself and the 2023 board, thank you for those efforts as well. And I do have the honor and privilege of recognizing all of our past chairs in attendance tonight. If you're a past chair of the Houma Terrebonne Chamber, I wanted to name them all out, but you guys came out in full force tonight and really kind of blew Nicole and I away with how many of you came tonight. So if you're a past chair of the chamber, please stand and be recognized. Thank you all for your leadership and commitment and the lasting image and impression you did and left on this chamber. None of our efforts would have been possible in 2023 without our lovely chamber board. You guys got introduced and sworn in at the last banquet. You took your oaths of office very seriously, participated, and answered the call to really advance our chamber forward. If you were a 2023 board member, please stand and be recognized at this time. In particularly, off of our 2023 board, we have some who unfortunately are termed out. And these are some big losses, guys. These folks really participate and have been a vital part of the Chamber board. So Mr. Kevin Girardi, Mr. Kevin Champagne, Mr. Bill Erosh, and Ms. LaDonna Cruz, please stand and be recognized for your years of service to the Chamber board. I'd like to take a moment to say thank you to my mother, father, and all my family, and particularly my wife Heather here tonight with me. Being a chamber chairman, we make it look like it's a lot of work. It is, it can be. Nicole and the staff help support us, but without the support of your family and those at home, it's really difficult to do. So if you humor me, can you please give a round of applause for the lovely ladies sitting at that table? And if any of you read my chairman's farewell letter in the Focus in December, 2023 was kind of a really introspective year for me. I get asked a lot of questions now that I'm rolling as past chair off of this board, termed out on a couple other boards I've been serving on for quite a long time. And the question I get asked quite often is, what are you going to do? What are you going to do now? What's the next thing? And God, it's such a loaded question, right? But when you hear it from others, you kind of always have some response. For me, sometimes it's a joke. Most often it is. But really, when you ask yourself that question, and that's what 2023 has been about for me, is really ask myself that question, what are you going to do? Fun fact, a study out of the United Kingdom says, on average, you make 35,000 decisions a day. That's one decision every 2 seconds. Some of them are conscious and you have control of it. Some of them are unconscious. You don't even know you're doing them. But what does that do when you ask yourself that question, what are you going to do? In my mind, and it really gives you 35,000 opportunities every single day to ask yourself that question. And go, what am I going to do in this moment? And those are all opportunities. That's opportunities for you in your business. That's opportunities for you in your community. And those are opportunities for you in your personal lives. So if you take anything away from me this evening, please take that with you. Ask yourself those questions. You have 35,000 opportunities every single day. Don't waste them. We get caught up in hustle and bustle and the complexity of life, and we make those 35,000 decisions seem monumental, complicated, difficult. But when you really break them down, it's not that difficult. A lot of them become very simple if you look at them with the right perspective. There's a phrase that I use in my office all the time: if we aren't getting better, we're getting worse. Make sure you ask yourself that question when you're making those decisions. Are you getting better or are you getting worse? Life and time does not allow us to stand still. We didn't do that as a chamber in 2023, and I encourage all of you not to do that in your lives going forward. Take advantage of those opportunities that you're presented every single day to make yourself better. Make yourselves better in your business, make yourselves better in the community, make yourselves better in your health, and make yourselves better personally. Be kind to each other, be civil, have discussions and disagreements, and make your life and your days count. I look so forward to 2024. I'm leaving you in wonderful hands with Dr. Strickland. Really, I'm leaving you in good hands. So, look, guys, thank y'all very much. I appreciate the opportunity. I continue to be around. On your tables, you have QR codes for the ambassador program. If you want to get involved in the chamber and in a more kind of formal manner and really start participating in some things, we're going to do some fun stuff. Dr. Strickland has graced me with the honor of leading that program as we reactivate it. Please snap the QR code, get some more information, and get some applications in. We're going to select a kind of core membership group for ambassadorship and really spread the word about the chamber in 2024. Thank you all again. I appreciate it.
Chamber would just like to recognize Nick with this nice outgoing board chair plaque. Would you like to say a few words?
Get them. You're good. I already went over my. You need this after doing this.
That actually, watching the video, that was an outstanding video. You know, to go back and see things from the 1930s and, you know, the chamber events that they had in the past. It's good to see that this community has always stood together and stood up for itself as one voice. You know, there's never a shortage of issues for Terrebonne Parish. And through the leadership of the chamber and its board, we're going to continue to move this parish forward. As he said, it was great to hear how many ribbon cuttings we've done. That's an outstanding statistic based on where we've been from COVID and Ida. So I think we should all give ourselves a hand for that. We'll have the installation of the 2024 Board of Directors with the Honorable Judge Jason DeGate, who will do the honors.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you to Ms. Nicole as well as the Chamber for inviting me to participate in tonight's installation of the 2024 Board of Directors. When I call your name, please stand and remain standing, please. Lieutenant Colonel Stephen Bajeron, Carlton Casey Jr., Sandra Corbett, Monique Crochet, Allison Duke, Andrea Dupre, Shane Goldman, Tanya Harris, Nicholas Hebert, Mark King, Jimmy Klingman, Chris LePere, Judith Lewis, Teresita McNabb, Jennifer Michel, Sherman Nakan, Wendy Rotolo, Brandy Petrie, Dr. Christine Strickland, and Gary Williams, Jr. Please remain standing. Before we formally conduct your installation as board members, I wanted to thank you for your willingness to serve not only the chamber, but our community that we all so dearly love. In reflecting on tonight's occasion to participate with you all, I was reminded of a quick quote from legendary football coach Vince Lombardi, and it's a quote on success. And he said, "The difference between a successful person and others is not a lack of strength, it's not a lack of knowledge, but rather it's a lack of will." And I think we can compare that also to not only the success of us individually in our own lives, but that of our community as a whole. In order for our community to be successful, we need to have successful people like those members who have been recognized tonight, Mr. Sue Henry, Mr. Hebert, the outgoing president of the chamber, as well as our incoming board members. And they have to step up and they have to come together with their own personal experiences and bring forth their leadership for the betterment of our community. And so for that, we thank you all for your service, not only to the chamber, but to our community. I'll now ask all of our new board members to raise your right hand. And if it is your intention to swear and uphold the oath as a board member of the new chamber, as a new board member for the 2024 Houma Terrebonne Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, then I ask that you state, "I will," after each of these statements. Will you exercise powers of the office and fulfill responsibilities in good faith in the best interest of the chamber? Will you exercise these responsibilities with due diligence, care, and skill in a prudent manner? Will you respect and support the Chamber's bylaws, policies, code of conduct, and decisions of the board and membership? Will you keep confidential all information learned about members, personnel, and any other matters specifically determined by a board motion to be matters of confidence? Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my distinct honor to present to you this year's 2024 Board of Directors.
All right, next up, ladies and gentlemen, your 2024 Board Chair, Dr. Christine Strickland, Chancellor of Fletcher Technical Community College, and I'm sure she has a few words she would like to say.
Good evening. Okay, that was a little weak. Good evening? Yeah, I know, right? Thank you so much. I am so honored to serve as the chair of the Houma Terrebonne Chamber of Commerce this year. I do want to thank all of our board members who were just inducted with me. I am looking forward to a spectacular year. I'd like to take a moment and once again thank our past chair, Nick Aber. If you all join me one more time in a round of applause for Nick. So some big shoes to fill. And Nick did an excellent job of establishing a foundation for us to move our chamber forward. During his first board retreat, right before he took over the chairship, he worked to establish some goals that would take us through 2026. And this year, as we met in our board retreat, our group decided that we wanted to reaffirm those goals as meaningful and important to the work that we are going to do as a chamber. Those goals include growing our chamber membership, diversifying our revenue sources, hosting sold-out events that will help you grow your business, and advocating on issues that are important to business and industry. This year, our opportunity is to expand upon those goals, to take the strong foundation that has already been set and to build upon it for our community. But I believe much like the foundation that has been set with these goals for the chamber, we have that same strong foundation for our own region. We have a huge opportunity to build upon the foundation that has already been established through our leadership, our elected officials, through our community organizations and agencies, and through each of you who sits here this evening with us. The chamber looks forward to working with our newly elected officials and our community partners to help us to continue to regrow our region and to stem the outmigration that we have seen in our parish as of late. We have some challenges certainly, but we also have many, many opportunities. We need to focus on the power that we have when we work collectively together as a parish and as a region. Recently, I had the opportunity to attend a chamber after hours at Downtown Joe, and I got some time to speak with a friend of mine, Karen Schilling. She was reflecting on how we have continued to see throughout our parish that when we work together, we are stronger. When we work together, we have a significant power to change the direction and the course of our parish, our region, and our state. That when we work together, we can not only address our challenges, but also our opportunities. I had the honor and privilege recently to attend Washington, D.C. Mardi Gras, and I was at the Economic Development Lunch, and I got to hear Mr. Boise Bollinger speak. And his message to the room was that success, whether it is individuals or communities, comes with an attitude of never quitting. Of never, ever quitting. And that is what I have seen of this community. Throughout challenges that we have faced together, we have never quit. And even though we have challenges that may face us in the future, I know that if we work together and we stand collaboratively and work collaboratively together, we can overcome any challenges and expand upon the opportunities that present themselves to us. I look forward to this year. I look forward to expanding on the partnerships. This year, the Chamber will host a number of events in collaboration and cooperation with our other chambers. We will expand upon our advocacy efforts working with our business and industrial groups in the region, our newly elected officials. We will look to host more great sold-out events like our golf tournament, our monthly luncheons, and our cornhole tournament. And we hope that you will find one way to get involved. My ask of each of you is to identify one meaningful thing or one meaningful way that you can participate in the Chamber this year. Maybe it is attending one of the events like our banquet here this evening. Or maybe it is lending your voice to our advocacy efforts at the state and national level. As was mentioned earlier, we are starting and restarting our ambassador program. And I was going to say, although Nick stole my thunder a little bit, you have a QR code on your table, and I know oftentimes people will tell you not to take your phones out during speeches. Right now, I'm giving you permission. Take your phone out, snap a picture of that, and get involved in that area. We also hope to launch a Young Professionals Network this year to engage more of our younger professionals in the work of the Chamber and in the work of our region. Whatever it is, I hope that you will find a meaningful way that is important to you and that brings value to you and your business to be involved with our Chamber. I'd like to thank again Nicole and the entire team of the Chamber, and I'd like to thank my 2024 board for all of your support, your confidence in me, and I look forward to serving you all this year as your chair. Thank you.
Now to our Chamber Awards. Our first award this evening is the 2023 Nonprofit of the Year. And I believe we have a video queued up for that.
The Chamber's Nonprofit of the Year Award is given to an organization that has provided outstanding service to Terrebonne Parish and has demonstrated sound management practices and has exceptional leadership. The 2023 nonprofit recipient has been a Chamber member for over 10 years and as Executive Director served as a Chamber Board member for 6 years and was Chair of the Chamber in 2013. This nonprofit was established in 2012 by a group of business leaders from Terrebonne and Lafourche parishes. Its mission is to strengthen Terrebonne, Lafourche, and Grand Isle through philanthropic leadership as they work to create a vibrant and diverse community where all can thrive. The founders recognized the need for a community foundation to strengthen human services, education, workforce development, coastal preservation efforts in our community, as well as to serve as a philanthropic bucket for national and international assistance for future emergencies and natural disasters. From 2013 to 2003, our recipient has awarded 274 grants for $2.3 million to local nonprofit organizations serving Terrebonne, Lafourche, and Grand Isle residents as part of its annual grants program. They also conduct workshops and an annual conference to help local nonprofits strengthen their organizations, and an annual online community giving event to promote philanthropy and to support numerous nonprofit services. This organization activated its Bayou Recovery Fund for Hurricane Ida relief on August 27 of 2021 in advance of the Category 4 hurricane, which made landfall on August 29th in Lafourche and Terrebonne parishes, providing an effective way for donors to give hope and help to local residents suffering from this disastrous storm. By combining the gifts of many to address our Bayou region's most critical emergency needs, the Bayou Recovery Fund has been a powerful tool to help the most vulnerable among us and address the impacts of this natural disaster right here at home. To date, with over $10 million in donations secured from around the country and the world, this nonprofit has been able to fund over $8 million in relief and recovery efforts serving specifically residents of our hardest hit and most vulnerable coastal communities, and their work continues. Through the Bayou Recovery Fund, annual grants program, and other programs, our recipients, staff, and volunteers meet and engage with hundreds of nonprofits across our region, helping to tell their story, sharing the wonderful work that nonprofits do in our community, and promoting philanthropy. As this organization celebrates its 11th year and the positive impact it has been able to make in Terrebonne, Lafourche, and Grand Isle through the generosity of donors, this organization is working to strengthen its own resiliency to ensure that this bucket of philanthropy will be here to serve our community for decades to come. The 2023 Nonprofit of the Year Award goes to Bayou Community Foundation.
Coming down there. Gotta give a speech up here.
Wow. On behalf of all of our board members here and all who aren't here, I just thank you all for your support. And most importantly, I want to recognize our compassionate and generous and resilient coastal community that time and time again, as Christine has mentioned, has come together. We don't wait for help. We pick ourselves up by our bootstraps and we get to work to help ourselves. And I think that is the story of Bayou Community Foundation. I want to recognize our board members who are here tonight, our president, Henry Lafont, founding members, Alexis Duval, Burrick Duval, JJ Buquet, who also currently sit on our board as well, Ed Boutery, Gary Williams, so many others, so many in this room tonight have shared your gifts with Bayou Community Foundation to help us build this community, strengthen this community during blue skies and, of course, after disaster. One of our dear friends, Michel Claudet, once said that nonprofits do the work that government and corporate America simply cannot do. And so to the hundreds of nonprofits that we have the wonderful opportunity to work with each and every day, thank you for all that you do to make our community stronger and better. To all of you who share your gifts with BCF and nonprofits throughout our community, thank you. Giving makes great things happen. And I think we do a small part to demonstrate that each and every day. On behalf of the 500 families that our rebuild efforts in Dulac, South Lafourche, and Grand Isle are bringing home, I say thank you. We can truly make a difference when we come together. With your help, Bayou Community Foundation will continue to grow good here in Terrebonne, Lafourche, and Grand Isle for many years to come. And I thank you so much for giving us that opportunity. And I thank you for the Chamber, for recognizing our efforts. Please join us in our work. And hooray for this precious and unique Bayou community that we all call home. Good night.
All right, we are back. The Nonprofit of the Year Award. Everybody knows Jennifer. We've seen Jennifer on HTV many times, and what a great award. What a great leader. And this is the epitome of what it's all about, isn't it?
Yes, it is. As I said in accepting this wonderful award for Bayou Community Foundation, it's really a testament to the compassion and generosity and resilience of our entire coastal community that we call home here in Terrebonne, Lafourche, and Grand Isle.
Yeah, and we've witnessed some of your work and the foundation's work as we have brought cameras on location, and for people who haven't seen it, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But how did that all come about? Who sat down one day and said, we want to build hundreds of houses?
Well, actually, about 3 months after Hurricane Ida, Bayou Community Foundation held a community needs assessment to find out what the most urgent recovery needs were for Lafourche, Terrebonne, and Grand Isle. And housing came up, obviously, as the #1 priority for repairs and new construction for people who really could not afford to do it on their own. So we immediately decided that housing recovery would be BCF's primary focus months after the storm. And God put us together with these beautiful Amish and Mennonite volunteers from Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, who were in the area looking to see how they could help. We committed at that point in January of 2022, $1 million to buy building supplies for them to start building and repair homes in Dulac. In a year and a half, we completed 24 new homes in that community, repairs of over 300, and we have since moved to Grand Isle and South Lafourche, where we expect to complete over 25 homes by June of this year, new homes, and another 150 or so repairs. It's really been tremendous, and it's just the grace of God that has put all of these wonderful people together.
And Jennifer, congratulations, job well done, and keep on building.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. The great thing is that we've been able to accomplish so much with the generosity of our donors. The unfortunate thing is there's still so many people in need, so many people that could still use our help, but we're trying to help as many as we can, and we are so grateful for this opportunity and so thankful for this award.
All right, there you have it. We're going to take a short break. We'll have more right here from the Civic Center, so don't go away.
All right, next up, we're going to recognize the 2023 Small Business of the Year Award.
The Small and Large Business of the Year awards are handed to businesses who have demonstrated ethical leadership and corporate stewardship, made a difference in their communities, and contribute to the advancement of important economic and social goals. The Small Business of the Year award is given to a business that has excelled in community involvement, chamber involvement, and economic value to the community. Our 2023 recipient has been a chamber member for over 18 years and has participated in numerous chamber events and committees. Our recipient is one of the oldest businesses in Terrebonne Parish and has remained dedicated to providing supplies and services that meet the needs of the community. Through 5 generations of leadership, they have risen above the obvious challenges of being rooted in a coastal bayou region by choosing to reinvest for over 147 years in ways that promote growth and development back into that same community. Most recently, after Hurricane Ida with a demolished lumberyard, they committed to rebuilding the community first, working under a rented large carnival tent while slowly repairing their own damage. Over the last 2 years, they have effortlessly provided building materials across the Tri-Parish region as a vital resource to help in the redevelopment of our impaired communities. They continue to build up not only properties, relationships with community members who become friends like family by establishing solutions that fit each project. More so, it's those relationships that make our recipients stand tall on a strong foundation of business standards. Relationships that help their dedicated long-term staff remain committed and vested in developing ways and ideas to showcase the business. Relationships that help identify community needs, addressing them directly with residents and community leaders to find ways to partner with other community advocates to make strong progress for our community. Our recipient has continuously provided financial support with monetary and/or in-kind contributions to several nonprofit organizations, such as St. Joseph's Church, Catholic Charities, Upside Downs, Terrebonne Arc, Bayou Community Foundation, and so many more. Our recipient understands that we are all responsible to do our part in creating a successful environment for Terrebonne Parish and stands committed to do the same community investment for years to come. The 2023 Small Business of the Year goes to Chauvin Brothers.
Thank you all very much. Congratulations to the Chamber for their 105th anniversary this year, but this year marks the 149th year that we're in business, and thank you. And also bringing in our new leadership of our 5th generation in our family that's taken over the business this year. You know, and after all these years of being in business, I can't recall ever getting a chamber award, so this one's pretty special. I guess the old adage still holds true. Good things happen to those who wait. And wait. And wait. No, seriously. No, I'm really honored, we're honored to accept or to be chosen for this prestigious award when you consider all of the great businesses in this parish, and many of you represented tonight. And many of you have been here for some time. I can think of quite a few that have been over 100 years just off the top of my head. But whether we're here 100 years or whether you're one of the 50 new ones that just came into the parish, you know, the fact that we're here, the fact that we're fighting the battles every day, facing the challenges to survive and to thrive and to succeed is a credit to everything that we do. And for us, in our business, it's more than about the money and the profits and the meeting and beating of quotas. It's about helping our customers achieve a little bit better quality of life. And if we can all accomplish that in what we do, it makes Houma Terrebonne a better place to live. So again, I want to thank all of you for this, and I wish all of you many, many more years of service. God bless y'all. Thanks.
You didn't have to wait that long. You don't look a day over 131.
All right, joining me now, the small business of the year. And certainly, Tommy, I know you got to be proud, and you brought your sidekick with you today, right?
Yes, our 5th generation now taking on the business moving forward. I'm excited to see where they're going to take it. You know, being in this thing this long, and I tell people we've passed the mortality rate of family-owned businesses. 5 generations, special. It's by the grace of God, great staff, just great people, the great community. Just couldn't be prouder.
Well, I knew you back when you were overachieving in basketball and all at Vanderbilt. But Chris, what does this mean to y'all organization, especially in front of a large crowd?
I mean, look, it's a surprise. We had no idea, and it's like Tommy says, it's all about our community. We have, to me, the best staff in the world, and it's you know, we hope we can make it another year.
Right.
You know, we're dodging hurricanes and insurance and things like that, and you know, I'm pretty proud of tonight.
Yeah. And Tommy, a lot of people came before y'all, like you said, 5 generations, so a lot of people had work ethic in your family.
That's no doubt about it, no doubt, and I think that's what kept us going. You know?
So next up is the 2023 Large Business of the Year recipient, and I believe we had a video for that.
The Large Business of the Year award is given to a business that has more than 25 full-time employees and recognizes their community involvement, chamber involvement, and economic value to the community. Our Large Business Award recipient of the year has been a chamber member for over 38 years and has supported the chamber through various events. Established in 1983 as a heart clinic in Houma and has grown to 20 world-class clinics providing the highest quality of cardiovascular care available. Over the past 40 years, our recipient has decreased heart disease mortality rates in these areas, including Terrebonne Parish. This incredible impact on the cardiovascular health of patients has improved thousands of lives and one of their greatest accomplishments. Now with nearly 1,200 team members and 60 physicians, our recipient continues to treat all forms of cardiovascular disease from head to toe with the latest technology and the compassionate care. In Terrebonne Parish specifically, they have 235 team members within the 2 Houma locations. Our recipient was the first to perform open heart surgery in Houma in 1986. The first continue through the years as they have brought the most advanced cardiovascular breakthroughs to Terrebonne Parish. They have pioneered hundreds of new procedures and devices to improve patient outcomes and quality of life. Their physicians strive to not only use the latest advancements, but to educate and train others in them as well. Our recipients' dedication to patient care is seen in its numerous awards received. In 2023, they received 2 gold awards from the American Heart Association for its commitment to reducing the risks of heart disease and stroke through cholesterol and blood pressure management. For the 5th year in a row, as part of the Target BP initiative, they've earned the Gold Plus recognition for the accuracy of blood pressure management with controlled blood pressure in more than 83% of hypertensive adult patients, surpassing the target of 70%. In addition, our recipient also received the Check Change Controlled Cholesterol Gold Award this year for having more than 83% of at-risk cardiovascular disease patients appropriately managed with statin therapy. They have also been named a Best Place to Work by Modern Healthcare for 4 years in a row. Our recipient fosters partnerships with local hospitals, such as Terrebonne General Health System here in Houma, to offer world-class interventional procedures and hospital catheterization labs. These procedures bring new devices and techniques to the community for the best possible patient outcomes. For years, our recipient has been involved in its local communities in many ways, including supporting and sponsoring local organizations and health initiatives. They offer multiple free screenings both in their clinic and at local businesses or organizations with the goal of improving health across our community. In 2021, they led multiple efforts for Hurricane Ida relief to bring essential supplies, gas, food, and water to our Bayou region. Though our recipient now has national reach through the work of Dr. Craig Walker and its national platform, they remain committed to Terrebonne Parish, where its corporate office and original home remains. They continue to make the most advanced cardiovascular care available to patients in Terrebonne Parish, improving lives and leading the way for advanced care and innovation. The 2023 Large Business of the Year Award goes to the Cardiovascular Institute of the South, CIS.
Well, I'm going to go back to Nick's comment earlier, 35,000 a day. About got 35,000 going through my mind right now. So I'm Ryan Aber. I'm the new CEO for CIS. So I might be a new face up here to some of y'all. What an honor. What an honor to stand in front of all of you. Being a native of Houma, seeing all of the great things that have prospered. It's truly remarkable. Congrats to the Chamber, 105 years. What an amazing accomplishment for the support of what you've done for Terrebonne Parish. So think about Cardiovascular Institute of the South. 40 plus years now, we're at 41 or right at about 41 years with a mission, mission to provide patients in the communities we serve with the highest quality cardiovascular care available. And we're committed to that. We're not going to stop that commitment. We're going to continue to focus on advancements in technology, education, research, continue to show compassion in enhancing the communication and awareness. There's a lot to still be done. There's a lot to still be created. When you look at all the things that cardiovascular disease creates and provides from a risk perspective, a mortality perspective, there's still a lot to be done. Dr. Walker's vision is one that we're going to continue, but I got to tell you that vision's going to continue on and on and on. We have a lot of great talent, our physicians, young physicians that are coming in. Dr. Brajean's here tonight, Dr. Angeron's with us tonight, and we got many more that have continued to come aboard. We have an amazing team that's laser focused on making this happen, and we have all of our support staff that day in and day out are dedicated to ensuring that they're saving lives. We also could not do this without our hospital partners. Day in and day out, they provide us the support and the resources for us to be able to be successful. Truly appreciate everything that you do. This is truly an honor for us, and I can't thank y'all enough. We're going to represent this to the best that we can and continue to make a positive difference in the Houma Terrebonne Parish community and all the other communities we serve. Thank you very much for this honor.
Ryan, what does this mean? I mean, in front of a packed Civic Center, God, I've covered y'all for so many years, and the awards just keep coming. This was a big one tonight.
This was definitely a big one, a true honor to be recognized by the Chamber with this great award. But it really kind of reflects the whole vision of what Dr. Walker and our entire physician team has been really focused on for the last 40 years. Really to bring cardiovascular medicine to a new height, to provide to the communities services that go above and beyond, that saves lives each and every day. And so truly, truly honored, but I'm honored for our team because they put forth the effort each and every day to ensure that patients have hope, they have dreams, they have ambitions, but they have another day with their family. And what a great, great opportunity to be here tonight in front of this amazing group of organizations and receive such a great honor.
So, Crystal, obviously this is a big honor and a big organization. And the numbers, I know you see a lot of the numbers, and we won't get into them because that's private, but it's such a big company, but it didn't start off big. It started off small, but boom.
Right. I've actually been with CIS for 34 years, and it's amazing to see how far we've come. You know, and you spoke a moment ago about Dr. Walker and the things that he teaches, and that is what is so unique about what he's brought to this community. Not only he wants to bring the technological superiority, but he wants to teach it. He wants to infuse good world-class care into our communities, and not only in just this community, in every community we touch. And it's so very important that we do everything we can for our patients, and we treat them with the utmost respect and give them the best care that we can.
I've often told Dr. Walker he's one of the best public speakers I've ever met. You know, it really is. All right, there you have it, the large business of the years.
Now to the Courier's 2023 Terrebonne's Most Useful Citizen Award. Here tonight to present the award is last year's recipient, Mr. Jonathan Foray.
For the 79th year, the Courier recognizes Terrebonne's most useful citizen, someone who has gone above and beyond to make our parish a better place. This year's honoree has been involved for decades in programs that educate children, help the poor, and assist the parish's Native American residents. The 2023 Most Useful Citizen is a member of the United Houma Nation and a native of Dulorge. As a boy, his education was set to end after 8th grade. It was May 1963. A time of state-sanctioned racial discrimination during which Terrebonne's public school system did not offer a high school education to Native American children. Fate intervened, however, after a hunting accident sent him to the hospital for 22 days. While there, a Catholic priest learned of his educational plight and offered him a chance to attend the St. Francis Boys High School. In 1967, our honoree became the first Native American to graduate from Vanderbilt Catholic High in Houma. He went on to earn a business degree from Nichols State University in Thibodaux in 1972. From 1984 to 1992, he served as chief of the United Houma Nation and helped lead the tribe's continuing efforts to secure federal recognition. He successfully fought to include Dulac and Lower Dularge within Terrebonne's hurricane protection system, an action that helped preserve the homes and heritage of thousands of families, including many Native Americans who have called those communities home for generations. For more than 4 decades, he served as director of the Terrebonne Public School System's Indian Education Program. He helped establish academic programs that had been denied to him and other Native American children during more than a century of racial segregation. For decades, his annual graduation ceremony for the parish's Native American students has recognized young people whose parents and grandparents were denied the opportunity to attend public high school. The 2023 Most Useful Citizen has served on boards for nonprofits and community efforts. They include the Dulac Recreation Board, the Terrebonne Council on Aging, the Area Salvation Army, and the Dulac Community Center. He was the first Native American named to the Louisiana's Human Rights Commission, serving under 2 governors. This board investigates complaints and helps the state enforce laws aimed at preventing discrimination in healthcare, housing, public accommodations, banking, and employment. Since 1986, he has served as pastor of Clanton Chapel United Methodist Church in his longtime home of Dulac. In 1987, he started the Ecumenical Walk of the Cross in Dulac, which continues each Good Friday. He has led numerous efforts to help the people of Dulac and southern Terrebonne recover from hurricanes, including Ida in 2021, which left his church heavily damaged. He has helped lead efforts to repair both the church and the Dulac Community Center, both hubs for the Bayou community. Raised speaking Louisiana French, his talk and music program on KHOM KTIB in the 1980s may have been the last local radio show that regularly broadcast in the language that once permeated our community. Please join the Courier in congratulating Terrebonne's Most Useful Citizen for 2023, Mr. Kirby Verrett.
What a surprise. I cannot believe this.
Congratulations. Would you like to say a few words?
Yes.
There's going to be another award that's coming, so this is just a placeholder for that.
Oh, my goodness. I was looking around, now who could have done that? First of all, I truly want to thank you. It's all about service. God gave each and every one of us a life. And you know, He expects us to do something with it. We all have a purpose in life, and God has blessed us. I want to thank all the people that helped me in my young days to give me guidance, to tell me never give up no matter what. And I've told students for years upon years, there is nobody today that can stop you from reaching your dreams except yourself. I truly want to thank God. I want to thank my mom and dad who never had a chance to walk into a classroom. But their biggest thing was faith and education. And living by faith, not by sight. Education can open doors, but you have to be willing to walk through. I have to admit that a lot of people touched my lives in many good ways. I remember the writings of Gandhi and Dr. Martin Luther King. I read something about Darkness cannot be driven out by darkness, only with light. Hatred cannot drive out hatred. Only love can do that. And to add to that, racism cannot drive out racism. Only love can do that. We are all together in this parish. La bonne terre de la Louisiane. Terrebonne, a bonne place pour vivre. I truly enjoyed my years with KHOM, KTIB, enjoying the music that hits the heart of our people. But we have to continue. I hope that the young people continue to strive to be proud of Terrebonne Parish and all the good people who have worked so hard. I want to thank the many organizations I've had an opportunity to be part of. In our tribe and in Native culture, taking care of your elders is part of life. And I want to thank Ms. Diana Edmondson. They encouraged me when I was young to get involved working with Council on Aging. I want to thank Mr. Michel Claudet for keeping me on for a little bit longer. And then of all of the amazing things I've experienced, one day I realized there was a lot of old people my age. What happened? But it's not over, folks. God has called us to work together for good. And I thank everyone, especially Zoanna Billiard-Verrett. She has been the strength of my life. Thank God for her. Thank you.
All right, joining me now, the Citizen of the Year, Kirby Verrett, his wife, Zoanna. Kirby, I've been knowing you a long time. This is a big honor.
I am totally surprised, and I will tell you that Mr. Michel Claudet, the executive director of Terrebonne Council on Aging, asked me to come, and I felt in my own way of thinking that it meant something to him, and I couldn't disappoint him, so I came. So he pulled a good one on me, but I feel so honored because it's not about me, but all the people that come together. If we all did all we could to lift people up, imagine where we would be. And that's been part of coming from a family where my mom and dad never had a chance to go to school, but they truly believed in education. And so my life has been trying to help others, because had others not helped me, I never would have had a chance. But I had God's guidance, and he put a lot of good people in my life to keep me going.
Ms. Zoanna, he gave you a lot of credit up there, so you must have kept him on the straight and narrow, right?
I tried to. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, did you encourage him a lot along the way?
Yes, I encourage him. Yep.
But he doesn't need much encouragement, does he?
Well, I can tell you, I met her, and it was like that rib that was missing. The rib was reattached, and her life has been around helping preschoolers in Dulac get a good start through the Clanton Chapel United Methodist Preschool, and her life has been helping the young. She's got 2 students that attended there and went on from high school to college, who ended up going to Dartmouth.
Wow.
And it's all about not dealing with problems, but taking on challenges. Now, you hear two different words, problem or challenge. And if you teach a child that it's a challenge, and they'll learn how to overcome. If you tell them it's a problem, they might stop right where they are.
All right, there you have it, our Citizen of the Year, Mr. Kirby Verrett, his wife Zoanna, who he gave a lot of credit to.
Now we've come to our guest speaker, pretty much on time. Val Grubb. She is a keynote speaker, corporate trainer, and executive coach who helps companies improve their bottom line by elevating employees from tactical thinkers to strategic leaders. Her keynotes and training programs are based on 20-plus years in senior leadership roles at companies such as Rolls-Royce Aircraft and NBC Universal, as well as helping to found the Oxygen Channel for Oprah Winfrey and Interactive Corp for Barry Diller, parent company to Expedia, Home Shopping Network, and Ticketmaster, just to name a few. Although she now lives in New Orleans, Val's roots are in the Midwest, having obtained her mechanical engineering degree from Kettering University in Flint, Michigan, and her MBA from Indiana University. Val's book, Clash of the Generations, Managing the New Workplace Reality, helps leaders manage multiple generations in the office. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Valerie Grubbs.
Thank you. All right, my goodness. Well, thank you so much for letting me be a part of such a really such an inspirational awards dinner. Really, like I said, just really lovely to be here. And so again, I'm Val Grubbs. So let me ask you this. You know, thinking about leadership, where, Norris, do you mind if we get the slides up up here? Oh, perfect. Thank you, sir. I was given a presentation to a bunch of HR people, and it was in the New Orleans Convention Center. And there was a problem with the slides. You know, the guy comes out and fixes it. And lovely gentleman. And so this is for SHRM National. I got about 5,000 HR people in the room. And I said, thank you, baby. Appreciate it. I lost the crowd. Like, I hadn't even started the presentation and it plummeted right there. There was like this visible hiss and boo. So let me ask this. Is it harder or easier to lead now? Harder? Harder? Why? It's just, you know, even if you look at this and you go, well, Val, you know what, it's not that. You know, it's definitely different. Like, things have changed. Expectations on our leaders have changed. And in fact, let me ask this. What in your mind, what are traits of a good leader? Don't make me come down there, people. What are traits of a good leader? Dependability, communication, love it. What else? Relatability, I like that. Confidence, love it. What else? Dedication. Yeah, so we know what, like, we have this idea of what good leaders are supposed to be. And really through the years, like, even as things have changed, through the years, we've always wanted somebody who's been a strong communicator, who's been strategic, somebody who can make decisions even when there's imperfect information. Accountability, dependability, demonstrates high integrity. I mean, these have always been around, always been our requirements of leaders. And then we certainly saw in this hot mess of the COVID years that we really needed to be thinking about change and be about innovation and really pushing and being inspirational, this positive outlook. Because let me tell you, life was hard, and we looked to our leaders to figure out, how do I feel? And look, if the leader's panicking, that's it. I'm going for the lifeboats. And so now as we look at this, when I look at, and I go out and I speak on generational stuff, talk about leadership, now I got all these other words like authentic. I need to be vulnerable. I need to have empathy for my employees. I got to do something called EQ, emotional intelligence. I got to come in and be a different leader. I got to care about my people. Not that I didn't care before, but now I'll tell you what, I got to show it. Ugh, right? Now I've lost the crowd. Everybody's like going out of here all mad. But the key is that I got to do all this mentoring and this feedback and coaching. Oh my God, and it never ends. The challenge as we think about this, and we look at this and we go, boy, oh boy, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to change? Why aren't employees adapting? And let me just say that it's just a flat new normal out there. It's a new normal out there, and the expectations of employees have changed. And we have to be prepared for it, and as leaders, we have to accept that we have to do all the changing because it's what's going to keep people around. It's going to get them in the door and then actually keep them around. And I'm sorry, who isn't struggling keeping folks working and showing up? I can't tell you how many clients I have that people interview, hire people, and they just don't show up on the first day. So we have to think about what it means to lead. Now, what I want to do is I want to attack this from two different levels. First off, obviously, I'm going about like what it means to lead people and sort of where we were 5 years ago and the things that need to be on your plate now. But then I'm going to come back and say and talk about what it means to lead from the chair that you're in. Because we can't afford in our companies now to have, we need everybody leading. We need everybody coming in, not with a fancy title or that manages people. We need everybody leading, because when we lead, we bring our best into the office every day. And so I'm going to give you sort of the secrets on how you can lead from the chair that you're in, regardless of whether or not you got people reporting to you. But let's talk about the do's and don'ts, because I know when I was talking with Christine and Nicole about what to talk about what aspects of leadership, they said that we need you first to talk about how to lead people and what are the differences. Can you give us the secret sauce that's going to help us get people in, get them working, and get them to stay? So let's look at some sort of do's and don'ts, if you will. Mentor and train them. I am telling you, this is from day one. At Oxygen Media, the average age at Oxygen was, I had 56% of my employees were millennials. And I can't tell you how many of them came in and said, I said, what do you want to do? Oh, I want to be CEO. Anybody hear that? Yeah, I want to be CEO. Now, I could look at that and go, oh, I could poo-poo that. What a silly thought. How foolish. Silly, silly. Don't do that. Embrace it. Come back and say, because you know what? I want somebody working for me who wants to be the friggin' CEO. I can tell you that, because they're going to be a go-getter. What I do, though, is I say, all right, now you're not going to be CEO of Oxygen Media, because there's about 50 people in line. I'm one of them, and I'm watching you. But let me tell you this, stick with me, and I will teach you skills that you will need when you are CEO. So when you quit here and go start your own company, or go to another company and become CEO of that one, you're going to be a good one, because the world's littered with terrible CEOs. So hang with me, and I will mentor and train you to help achieve your goals. Now, I can tell you, if somebody wanted to be a ballerina, I'm not going to really be able to help with that. But you don't really get that many people who really have something crazily off the cuff. So find out what interests them and connect the dots. My last assistant before we sold the company to NBC Universal had never worked in an office before. Fantastic. Never worked in an office before. Apparently, she didn't need to. She was in like 1 billion activities in college. And I remember we had our first board meeting, and I had asked her, hey, here's the presentation, go get copies for the boards and have them for this day. And she comes in and she's got it in a Kinko's box. And I'm like, God, man, our mailroom's putting things in a Kinko's box? I gotta go, what is going on here? And so we went and did the presentation, came back, and I'm like, by the way, where did you get these done at? Where'd you get the Kinko's box? She said, oh, there's a Kinko's right around the corner on 14th Street. I'm like, oh, all right. So you went and ordered them at Kinko's? She said, yeah, they did a beautiful job. I said, yes, they did. How much did that cost? Oh my God. All right, $1,200. Fantastic. Woo. I'm like, all right, let's go take a little tour. Let's go take a little tour. And I took her up to the mail room and I said, oh my God, this is something called a copy machine. We have copy machines in this office that can do that at no cost. Whose fault is that we just spent $1,200? That's on me. I made an assumption that someone would know that offices have copy machines. That's on, she'd never worked in an office before because her parents didn't need her to, and she was involved in a billion activities. Now she's gone on, we sold the company, she's an EVP, she now knows there's copy machines, she's got lots of people. And by the way, we do still tease her about this to this day, but just understand that we forget when we don't know things. We forget as leaders when we didn't know things. So when we talk about what it means to lead employees, we need to step back and figure out what they need and meet them where they are and mentor and train them. We need to come back and give both positive and negative feedback. We're so easy to come back and point out where people are doing things wrong. And if you only do that, what that does is erode somebody's confidence, which we said we need in leaders. Confidence is built. Confidence is built, and you have that in you to do that. So we need to recognize the good behavior and tell people that at the same time where we do bad behavior. We need to embrace new technology. Oh, God, give me something else to do. I hate technology. I really do. I'm sorry. I mean, but yet I have to do it. I gotta do it in order to come back and just be current. Like, it's just, I get it. It's awful, but we gotta do it in order to come back and continue to be relevant. I can't tell you the goofy things that I have done with AI. It's staggering at what I have come up with. I am sure that I'm on somebody's list of bad behavior based on what AI has come back with. Now, the funny thing is, though, you do realize, like, this is Terminator, people. Like, this is where it happens. Like, we're seeing it. So, but we got to do it in order to come back and stay current. Now, the thing is we can't come back and replace people and think that this is going to do everything. We need to ask people their opinions. We need to ask everybody their opinions. Do you really care who offers you the next idea that's going to make your company go to the next level? Do you really care? I don't. What I want is I want to get ideas from everybody to make sure that I got the best ideas out there, so that I can come out and A, provide for my customers, but also so that I can, do better, that I can expand the company, that I can do better. So ask everybody's opinion. One thing I do with interns right now, I don't come back and start telling them there's this idea. And again, we think about mentoring, I'm mentoring people. Let me tell you about whatever this widget is that we're doing or this idea. I don't do that. I don't launch out telling people what I know. I ask them what they know. Because I'm assuming they know nothing if I just launch in and start telling what I know. Instead, I say, all right, tell me where you are, and then I'll fill in the blanks. Fill in what goes here. Work-life balance, we talk about that, it's a bear. Yeah, we gotta work, but let me tell you right now, it is about the fact of understanding that people have lives outside of here. Now, yeah, you gotta make people work, but if we can show some flexibility, you'll have a better shot at keeping people in. Create a culture that we talk about, and I know this can be a tough word, like it's really interesting at what all's going on with DEIA, And the key here is that, again, it's back to, don't you want everybody's voices? Like if you're paying somebody, I want what they have to say. I want to hear it, and I want to make sure that I'm getting the best out of people. And that, you know, forget the headlines in the New York Times or what are the Times-Picayune or whatever that come back and make you be annoyed with this. That's not what it's about. Take out the things that matter, that you want voices, that you want to hear everybody's voices, and you want everybody to bring their best every day. That I can't imagine. I mean, that's Louisiana. We do that. We want people's best. That's what we're known for. And finally, define the value of culture and think about, understand that your employees, again, if you've never worked before, you will not understand how you connect the dots to how you're making value to the company. Meaning, my assistant, the same one who didn't understand the copy machines, they need to make sure that why are we doing what we're doing? Why is it that we're doing what we're doing? I want to connect what she does to what the company does that brings value to the organization. The moment that I can do that, I tell you what, if you're selling pencils, you're not selling pencils, you're selling something that allows people to write their dreams down, that allows little girls to keep journals, that allow boys to keep journals, to have people to draw. That's the value that you bring. How often do you stress that? Or do we come back and just stress and make the money? And look, everything comes down to P&L. We got to pay people. I get that. I feel very comfortable in a numbers situation. But we got to make sure people understand the value that they bring. And that will keep them around longer. The moment that they feel like they matter and that they add value to the organization and value to the life. I know when we first started Oxygen, I negotiated this deal, killer deal with Staples, because they were trying to break into New York. They weren't in New York at all, and they wanted to get in there, and I got this great deal, got big discounts, and we paid them late, which was great. And we got shut off. Like, we couldn't order office supplies. You know how embarrassing that is? I got a couple pencils here. I'll bring them up to you. Oprah. Yeah, but you can't order. Yeah, we can't order any right now. So I called our rep, and I'm like, Diana, man, what's the scoop? And she's like, well, Val, you haven't paid your bills. I'm like, oh, all right, I get that. Let me go talk to our, I talked to Ann Melville, who was the AP clerk. She's the accounts payable clerk. She is the woman who hits the button that transfers the money or prints the checks. So she's the woman who does that. And I said, Ann, what's, I understand we haven't paid Staples. She said, yep, that's right. I said, okay, you knew about it. Yeah, oh yeah, I can see them right there. They're really overdue. I said, yes, they are. And I said, well, what do you think, Ann? And realize Ann can't cut the checks. She's the lowest person on the totem pole when it comes to cutting checks. Like, she's the person who hits the buttons. Why do you think that does to our reputation? If you didn't pay your mortgage or your rent, what do you think would happen? Oh yeah, I'd get kicked out. It'd affect my credit. A lot of bad things. Maybe wouldn't be able to buy a car or do whatever I wanted to do. A lot of bad things. I said, well, what do you think happens if that happens to a company? She said, well, I bet you it's about the same thing. I said, yeah, exactly. And I said, so in essence, Ann, you're not printing checks or transferring money. You are protecting Oxygen's reputation. Our very existence, our ability to get credit, our ability to get rankings from the Better Business Bureau, all of that is directly in your hands. She said, you know what, I'm going to go out and find out why they haven't signed off on these invoices. I said, I think that sounds great. Tell me what help you need. Tell me what help you need. At that point, she understood that what she did mattered to the company, and that she wasn't a cog in the wheel. She was somebody who mattered and who was important. When we sold Oxygen, she since has retired from NBC Universal as a vice president. So that's the value you can bring to make somebody feel that they're connected. Professional and personal, again, connecting people to what matters to them. Now, we may look at this and go, Val, you are just annoying me to no end. That I have to do all this stuff? Are you kidding? I gotta go out there and sell. I gotta sell my business. I gotta be nice to customers. I gotta sell. I gotta do this. It's a new normal out there. It is a new normal out there, and there are new expectations. And we see the lines, and we see the headlines, right? The whiny generation, grow up crybabies. Guess what? That's not millennials or Gen Z. That's from Gen X. It's from the 80s when Gen X. Nobody likes new generations coming in. Now let me ask this. Who has kids under 40? Let's raise those hands high. Raise them high. Let's raise them. All right, now what I want you to do is do this. Turn back. There we go. There we go. Let's pat ourselves on the back. We have met the enemy, and he is us. We have taught people that you don't need to know what a copy machine is. The enemy is us, and what I hope is that somebody takes care of my child as I am taking care of somebody else's. Now, this all starts with you. Starts with that person in the mirror. It starts with you deciding that you're going to be a better leader and be a leader for where your employee needs. That's where it starts when it comes to people leadership. Now, let's talk about when we think about business and running your businesses. Wherever you are in your organization, take responsibility for where you are. Where you are, you're a part of that. You can have a bad boss, you can have other things, but you're a part of that equation. Understand your motivations. Review your responsibilities. As you have moved up, have you let go of things? Have you allowed other people to take them on? Are you teaching others? Are you delegating well? Or are we clinging on? And am I actually micromanaging people because, gosh, it feels good? Do we focus on the tactical stuff, or do we instead focus on the major projects at major wins? Anybody hear Stephen Covey? Stephen Covey talked about focus on the big rocks first. You do those big rocks and then you stuff everything else in there, because otherwise the big rocks never get done. Are you focusing 60 to 70% of your week, of your day, should be focused on big strategic things that add value to the company, not the tactical BS that we put up with. So focus on the big stuff first. Set boundaries, develop your team. Your team doesn't have to report to you, develop the people around you. Develop those folks around you. Get help if you need it. If you are drowning, say something. Say something to your boss. If you are perfectionist, that has got to go, because that's going to kill you. And you're going to be going and seeing that major healthcare who just won. So let's don't do that. Let's don't do that. And take care of yourself. Finally, let's talk about leading from the chair that you're in. And again, we'll end on this of just understanding, like I said, the big focus was on leading people. But you don't have to lead people to be a leader. You got to have a mindset, and you got to lead from the chair that you're in. How do we do that? Get involved in the strategic planning process. Think about what it means to be long-term. And I'm talking 3 months, end of the year, 3-year, 5-year. Do the right things versus doing things right. Doing things right it's about doing, the question is if I'm being asked to make this widget, is this what we're supposed to be doing? Like, we have to ask, yeah, I want to make it right, but should we be doing something else instead that will help our business better? You know your area. You know your area. Are there ways to be more efficient? Are there ways to do things right or to do things better? And because you know it, the question is it's on you. That's why taking responsibility for where you're at. Know your customers, know your competitors, know your competitive landscape. That's what a leader does. It's the same thing I said if these folks who want to be CEO. That's great. What are our competitors doing? What can we do better than they can? Learn. If you cannot read a P&L statement or a balance sheet or look at a statement of cash flows, start there. Everything comes down to the big three financial statements. Understand, it is great to know if you're looking to be a leader in your organization, yeah, you got to be good at what you do, but you need to understand business as well. You need to understand, again, back to what your customers are doing, what your clients, what your customers need. And I say that, let's take a prime example here. Who had a BlackBerry? Who had a BlackBerry? Oh my God, who doesn't miss their BlackBerry? They were in everybody's hands, in everybody's homes. Apple never should have smoked them. But they did because they got lazy and they said, nah, people don't want email on their phones. It's a phone. Or they don't want internet on their phone. How'd that work? Who had a Blockbuster? Who had a Blockbuster card? For those of I know a lot of people are going, I don't know what that is. Blockbuster used to be the only way you could get movies. They had like 90% penetration. That's that means of the homes that could have them, 90% of people did. What? That is staggering. They never should have allowed Netflix to come in, but they rested on their laurels and said, nobody's going to beat us. Now there's one left in Bend, Oregon. And they just turned it into a hotel. Yeah, so it went well for them. You need to learn to make decisions. You will think about a CEO in your company. CEOs have to make decisions every day, hoping that you're doing your job and hoping that they're getting all the information. So learn to make decisions because it's about getting stuff done and moving things forward. Innovate yourself and inspire others to innovate. Don't wait on others to lead change. Change is about you looking at what you do and doing it better. And the last thing that I would say, be somebody who others want to follow. You know, everybody's got an idea of what a leader is. Be that person. Nobody's waiting on you. Don't wait on somebody to give you permission to do that. You start being that person right here, right now, today. Because your companies need it, the world needs it, and you want to be up on this stage next year when they're giving out awards. So finally, it's about consciously choosing to up your people leadership skills. That's ultimately what it's about. It comes down to that person in the mirror. My boss can only do so much to come back and inspire and motivate me. It comes down to the person in the mirror and who I want to be today. So what I choose to be is a great leader that others want to follow. Folks, thank you so much for letting me come here tonight. I really, really appreciate it, and congratulations to all the award winners. A real pleasure. Thank you.
Monsignor Egby, would you like to come up and close this out before they start throwing tomatoes?
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Heavenly Father, with grateful hearts, we want to thank you for bringing this banquet to a close. We thank you for what we have enjoyed this evening. We thank you for the fellowship. We thank you for the spirit of love that you have given us. We thank you for the recipients who have been a great inspiration to us. As we depart from here, Lord, we are not departing from your face. but bring us safely to our homes and keep us in your arms. We commend also the new leadership into your care. Guide them and direct them and help them to work with dedication and love so as to grow this Chamber of Commerce. We thank you for the strength that you give us to do our work. Bring us your love. Bring us your care. Bring us your peace. And bless our evening. Give us a peaceful rest that we can get up tomorrow full of life and vigor to continue what you have given us. This is our prayer through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to all of the award winners, and thank you to each and every one of you for everything you do for the Chamber and for Terrebonne Parish. Everyone drive safe, and thank you for coming.